Hello guys and welcome to GA Flying. Today we are in Japan and we will be checking out the newest update for the Lancair Legacy from Flysimware. This update is adding a totally new cockpit to the plane, an analog cockpit, so something that many people have waited for. And with this I think we can slowly start. As you can see in the background, we are in Japan. I will show you the map for today's flight. So this is it, pretty much. We are starting at a small island that has a custom airport for some reason, and that was added to MSFS. And we'll be flying to something very interesting, which is like an artificial island where we will be landing. Both of those were introduced in the last Japan update and are pretty cool. And also the terrain along the way is really, really good. So this should be a great fit for a GA plane like this one, especially one with such a nice view as this. Okay, let me just... Now let me go outside. Let's prepare the plane. So as you can see, we are fueling up, or at least it looks this way, but we just have to make it happen. And now it will be fueling up when we will be doing the walk around, I hope. Is it going up? Yeah, it is. Okay, so let's prepare the rest of the plane. We can also take a look at the engine, as you know. When it comes to the livery, this is a custom livery from FlightSimTO, and I will link it in the description. I haven't seen any problems with using custom liveries for the newest version, but, well, I hope we will spot none of them during the flight. Okay, so we need still the chocks here, and I can already open the canopy. And here you can already see the cockpit. I think it's actually one of the best looking cockpits I have seen. There's just crazy detail. And it was pretty much the same with the glass cockpit version that the plane started with. Let me just show you the glass cockpit one. So this is... Let me just make it full screen. So this is the glass cockpit version that we had before. And normally I don't like glass cockpits, but those are so nicely integrated like into this design interior that I have really enjoyed flying it. So I think this one looks even better, and so I think many people will like it. And let's maybe talk about the avionics options, because we have a lot. So here we have the glass cockpit versions, and here we have the analog ones. So we will be flying with the Avidyne. And this is like a great discovery for me, because I never liked the Avidyne. I think I was only using it once, like many years ago, maybe even in a different simulator, and I didn't like it. But here it's really great. It's made by Working Title, and it's very advanced, has a lot of features. So this is something that we'll be using. As you can see, there's also the no GPS option, so then you will have the radio stack here for VOR navigation and so on. Let's think even with this one we have the ADF to use NDBs, if you like to. Okay, let me take a look at the fuel. I think we can stop. And we can end the fuel service then. Okay, so let's just close the caps. Here you can see some of the dirt, because this plane has probably the most advanced, I think, dirt simulation. There are lots and lots of dirt types. If you haven't seen my prior videos with this plane, I'm telling you now, but I can also show you. So here's the app for it, maintenance page, and then the very bottom, let me make it bigger. Here you can see all of the types of dirt that can accumulate. And this all depends on where you are flying, how you are flying. So pretty nice. Here you can see I was like fooling around on some dirt runways, and it's still visible here. I think now we can start. I will also be talking a lot about the Avidyne, because like for me it was also pretty new. So something that I will be using is a quick start document from Avidyne, and I will also link it in the description. It's not so long. There are a lot of pictures, and it describes the logic of it like in a very detailed way, but also pretty easy to understand. Are we ready? So yeah, too much talking. I think we are. So let me just enter the aircraft. Now I can go to normal. Okay, let's just close this. The nature here is pretty loud. And let's latch it. And you can start with the battery. Start with all of the levers. Sorry, in. Also some fuel will be nice. Oh, nice shadow here. And here you can also see some custom instruments. We will be also talking about them. And this is also something that was introduced since the first patches that I was showcasing. Now we have inside temperature simulated. And this is also a nice reminder to switch the tank. I will also show you in a second. So yeah, I think that the detail level on this one is really great. Let me check the barrow. 29906, which will be somewhere here. And so everything is in. So now I need to inject some fuel. So fuel pump. And now we are looking at the fuel pressure. It is there. We need around 3 seconds. They have also improved the priming simulation. So now depending on the weather, depending on the temperature, you will need different amounts of priming. So pretty nice. And with this, I think just crack it slightly and it should be fine. Nice. So let's go to 1000 RPM. So we have it here. Okay, we can hear the gyros starting. Okay, so we can take the alternator and Avionics master. And now you can see Avidyne. I will tell you the basics in a second. And we can also see the gyro simulation here. So a lot of care was taken to really make it work like in the real thing. You could see this shaking and stuff. So also pretty unique and pretty interesting. I'm not sure about the RAM air because this is the RAM air for the engine. This is like improving the engine ventilation by bypassing the filter and so on. But I'm not sure if this is max or if this is max, because in the glass cockpit version there was a lever, so it was clear. But here it's not described in the manual, so I'm not sure. Either way, we also have the oil cooling, and here in is max cooling. So this is pretty much what we want. Outside temperature, what? I was using it yesterday. Let me just take a look. Oh, no. Strange, but works. Okay, proceed. Proceed. And this is pretty much what you have always seen when you have seen Avidyne somewhere. For me, it always looked like it's like slightly bugged with this strange font. I really never liked it. You can also use synthetic vision if you like, pretty cool. And as you can see, I'm clicking on the screen, and this is something that I didn't remember at all from Avidyne from those couple of years ago, that it's actually a fully clickable interface, and it's really, really powerful and like really cool. So we will talk in a second about it. And let me just need to make sure we have everything. Okay. Now, and so what is the setup that I like? So I like having my map here and my flight plan here, and this is pretty much what we are having. So for now, let's just take the destination like it is. Then we will be also adding an approach, obviously, and I will show you how it is being done. There are lots and lots of features here and a lot of stuff that you can set up. And everything can be used via the touch interface or via the scroll knob. Yeah, but so for me it was like super surprising because I was always remembering as a very simple device, but it seems like it's not. So this is the parking brake. I want the lights go up a little bit. I'm not sure which one this is. Oops, not the parking brake. Don't want to drive anywhere. Okay. This is the max, this is the max, and here you can already see some of the light. Click spots. Okay. And let's go to the nav lights, and for now we can keep the landing light. So let's not foul the plugs, because this is also simulated. And let me prepare the trim for takeoff. I want it to go down a little bit. I find a little bit of trim is really helping. So this is what I'm using, and we can also simulate some baggage here. Cargo. I find with the baggage in the back it's a little bit better balanced in the air. You can also see the lighting here. Okay, so let me do a quick check. We can already use this one. So I want a 15-minute cycle that will remind me about switching the tank. Pretty useful. You can also turn it off or just disable the whole device if you don't like it. And I think with the rest I will just show you once we will be on our way. Let me just only get the track here. So here's all of the data, which is also pretty cool. You also have charts, but I didn't find a way to get Navigraph charts. The only selection that was available to me was LIDO charts and FAA charts. Not sure what the difference is, but I couldn't make Navigraph work, so I'm not sure if it's a thing or not. Okay, let me just see. So the track will be 0007, so let me just get this one. Nice. And I think we can start taxiing. So just so you know, this is for nav1 and this is for nav2. There is currently a slight bug. There is no deviation of the needle for the first waypoint in the flight plan. And this is already reported, and this will be fixed by working title. And we can go. In a second we will do a nice warm-up. And there are two versions when it comes to the steering. There's this natural steering where you have to use the toe brakes, and there's also the simplified one. So I do prefer using the simplified one, even though I have toe brakes, because it's really challenging and not a lot of fun, at least for me. So let me get the parking brake and let's do a warm-up, but first I need to make sure the temperatures are fine. So oil temperature is in the green. So we should be fine. Here you also have all of the speeds. So for example, the takeoff is 85 knots. And if you haven't seen the prior videos, we have failures here, and also failures caused by excessive wear of some of the elements. Let me dim this one. So 1700 RPM. So we will be looking here, but I need this. Okay, more or less, doesn't need to be perfect. Let's just exercise the propeller a little bit. I think it's... Let me just change the volume level, because for some reason I think... Oops, not like this. I think it could be louder. Okay, and also the magnetos. We do have a drop. It's not very high. And let's also check the next one. Okay, once again, we can accept. Okay, so now we need rammer to full for the takeoff. I just assume that this is to full, that this is the same logic as here, where it should be to full like this. Then we also need to seal the canopy, otherwise we will hear this whooshing sound of the wind, so, which is pretty cool, and we'll be using flaps too. so 2 notches of flaps, and they are working here, but here you can see only 1 bar, which is only because I haven't set up yet this custom binding that I want you to use. So the nice part is that the custom bindings can be set within the application here. So you have it here and you can set it. So the tools that are needed are the ones for flaps and also for the speed brake, because the normal ones are not fully working. Okay, a lot of talking. So we have the trim set, we have the flaps set, fuel pump, strobes, nav light, speedo heat can stay off, and I think we can start. Yep. So it's like a very, very small Japanese island that we are on. There is actually the only scheduled, I think, organized flight here is a Cessna 172 that is flying to the continent. So like very, very tiny plane, a very, very tiny island, but pretty interesting with those mountains here. And for some reason, Sobo decided to make like a custom airport here. I'm not sure why, but I'm not complaining. Oops. And just make sure I have the braking under control. And once we will have some more light, or like now, for a second, you will see the great detail level of this. Okay, so everything is on full, this is fine, so we will just start with full throttle. Let me make sure we have it here, this is fine, this is sealed, this is fine, in to max, everything is in the green. Yeah, it is, and here you can see it also, it's also showing the lights that are on. And I think we are ready. Just still have some problems with the controls. And it will slightly dip to the left on takeoff, which is something that is apparently authentic to the real plane. So I will try to counteract it, but it's not something that... Oh, now it wasn't so bad, I guess. Okay, tap the brakes.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Okay. I mean, there was some terrain on short finals, so we can do it. Here we need to watch out, because we do have lots of terrain if we decide to turn here. And let me get rid of the flaps. Okay, can get rid of this one. This can switch to pulse, light. Let me see if there's anything we can get some heating because it's getting colder. And we can also move the propellers to 2600 around here. Okay. Yeah, that's just great looking. Very, very unique. Nice. A very small town. And we will just turn in the direction of the mainland, and there will be some like beautiful textures here. In general, I think the latest Japan update made Japan probably the nicest country to fly over, especially if you like flying low. I mean, apart from some like very custom detailed US areas, I think. When it comes to like terrain outside of the US, Japan is just beautiful. This is also why I like to use the helicopters over Japan. Here you can see some dirt, which I'm really proud of. So this is all accumulated over my flights. And here you can see this nice line. Okay, so how high are we? We are at 4,000. We do have some turbulence here. I guess we can go slightly over the clouds then. When it comes to the flight model of it, it was changed like 20 times, I guess. So lots and lots of changes were made. And there were some iterations of this flight model that I liked better than the current one, especially like I think after the 5th update, where I was doing a flight with the yellow livery. I think it was the best there. There was the most inertia. It was the smoothest control reactions pretty much to your inputs. Now I think it's a little bit too sporty. But maybe this is how the real one is. But just like subjectively and with my hardware, the best flight model was somewhere in between. That's saying this one is much better than the one it started with. That was very twitchy. Okay, and one important difference between this one and the glass one is that there is no oxygen system. The other one had a very, very nice custom oxygen system that is not here. So according to the developer, in this one, the pilots just use like portable oxygen systems. So you can just assume you have one. But sadly, it's not model, because it's not a thing in most of those planes. In a second, I will also talk about the differences between this one and the one from A2A that is incoming, at least when it comes to the differences that we know about. Okay, so we will be joining the magenta line soon, so let's change the source to GPS. It needs a second. And then we can just go autopilot, alt hold, and nav. And it will be nicely joining the line. So here we can write this one. There are also holds here and like lots and lots of stuff. So in a second I will show you everything. So we are kind of cruising, let's say, and so we can reduce the propeller speed, and from what I could see, like one of those popular RPMs for cruise is 2400, so this is something that we will be using. We can take away some power, but I have also seen like very conflicting approaches when it comes to the power during cruise. Obviously it will also depend on the altitude, but many people just cruise with full power. So let me just first make sure that we are on the line here, and then I will show you some stuff. So there are a lot of functions here. You can see the power. So we can add some power, and you can see it's being added here. And we can also lean the mixture, and you will see as we are so high, the power is rising. I always love the computers that have this like power calculation, because then you can see right away. I mean, the stuff that you're looking for, pretty much. So here we also have a nice engine flow simulation. I mean the fuel simulation, and we have, oh no, this moves us back, and here, when we turn the knob, here you can see the range with the current fuel, the fuel that you will have at the waypoint, and the distance that you can fly. So lots and lots of stuff simulated, pretty nice. And when it comes to this one, I think I was testing it and don't remember what this button does. So I would have to recheck it. Okay, let's see if it's not too cold. It's pretty cold, so just get the heating. And you can see it increasing here. And in 2 minutes we will have to switch the tank. Okay, so let me make sure I won't forget anything, because there is a lot of fun stuff. So, what was it that I wanted to show you? I guess I can show you the approach. So it's being shown here. And apart from just scrolling like you are used to, you can just drag it, which is just great, like especially for simulator use. So I think I want this one, or do I want Zulu? I don't remember, but let me just take a look at my chart. So we will be using Zulu. So here, and we will want to go over the VOR. And this is also a pretty cool approach here. Let me just see. So we do have the missed approach, we do have the destination, we do have the ILS. Interesting, it's different than it was when I was testing it. So just give me a second, because normally the ILS was added here as a group of a lot of... Let me try it again. So here, here, here. Okay, so that's different than it was yesterday. So here's some options. You can also see the nearest airports with lots and lots of additional information. So I'm so surprised by this Avidyne, and I'm just wondering why it's not showing the waypoints in the approach. Okay, let's switch. So fuel pump, and let's go to left, and let's recycle it. I think reset is better, because recycling is changing the whole time, and we want 15 minutes. This is interesting. Yeah, always something when recording. Yesterday when I was testing it, it was working without a problem. Why can it be different? Let me just think about it. Okay, so this is the origin. I don't want to fly direct to the airport. I do have the approach selected here. Interesting. Yeah, this is something new, so let's just learn it. You also have departures and stuff. Why is it up here? Let's just... Yeah, again, but this is still not what I want. I want this like funny loop to be done over the airport. It wasn't a problem at all yesterday when I was doing it. But we do have the approach visible here. Let me just see. So this is the VOR DME, and this is doing this loop. But I want this loop with... now, maybe. No. I was so nicely prepared for this one. I'm just wondering how this will work. So let me just see here. And once again, a great feature that you can just drag it. And let's see how this will draw it. You also have a terrain radar here, which is pretty unique. Let me just zoom out a little bit. Okay, we do have this loop. So it seems like it's okay, but for some reason, when I was flying it yesterday, it did divide this approach into all of the single airports that you could see here. So for some reason, it's not a thing now. Okay, so now we have it twice. So let me just remove this one here. Can I clear it like this? Okay. So yeah, this is the VOR, and here we have the approach. I just want to get rid of the gap, but I know I have this 2 times, so let's get rid of it. Okay. Now we can take a look at how this will look like. In a second I will show you the great views, but I will want to... oh, I'm just clicking on this. Okay, now, so we have the loop, so it seems to be fine. It just hasn't... okay, here we also have the map. This is not help. Oh, okay, view expanded. Now I do remember. Okay. Okay, but we now have the VR 2 times, so I think we can get rid of one. Now let's get rid of the gun. Very nice. So what else can I show you? So here, for example, if you would like to hold at the VR, we can just click behind it and hold at this one. And there's also a pretty cool holding interface that you can use during the holding to provide all of the information. So I'm totally shocked because I haven't seen this system in any other payware planes. It's only in some of the standard ones, so I wasn't really expecting it to be anything special. Okay, that's saying let us go down. So I want to be at 4,000 feet, and this is this strange autopilot where if you want to switch to VS mode, you have to click Alt again if it's in Alt, and now it's in VS mode. And this is what we will be doing. I can get rid of some of the power, and this should be fine. Is it hotter? Yeah, a little bit. Nothing popped? No. So the only thing that I'm missing is this great drawer that the glass cockpit version has, that all of the fuses are pretty much in a hidden drawer that you have to pull to check their status. It's like so unique and so well modeled that it's one of the main reasons why I like to fly the analog one. Okay, let me reduce the power even more and we can take a look outside. A little bit fast. Obviously, if you like, you can also have a co-pilot, but I didn't bring one. And I think we can already see a lot of the detail level of the terrain here. It's really, really nice. Maybe I will take the Dauphin, so the dolphin here. Because like flying around all of those valleys, it's just great. Yeah, and also when it comes to the plane, one of the best looking planes. There is lots and lots of detail. That saying, it does pay with it, with a little bit higher, I would say, resource needs, especially like for a small GA plane like this one. I find that sometimes in like very busy and demanding areas, it sometimes can have more problems with performance than other light GAs. So if you are flying GA planes because you cannot fly high, like bigger planes, fearing the performance impact, you might start having a problem here. But if you can fly bigger aircraft without a problem, this is also not heavier than that. It's just heavier than you would expect, but if you have like an overhead, a reserve of power on your hardware, this shouldn't be a problem. Oh, I think I didn't do the correct course, because it was supposed to be 17 probably, so it was supposed to be closer here. So this is also something that they were talking about during the live stream, that they want to tune it down a little bit because the vibration is probably too strong. Okay, let me now take a look here. There's a lot of strange stuff. I hope this will work correctly, because as you could see, I did add the approach like 3 times. I hope it didn't bug out because of it. You will see. I guess I can just... do I want to replace it? I don't know. I'm a little bit afraid. And something that it's also doing is it top of descent? Let me just see. No, I think it was just the waypoint, or because for a second, yes, no, there is a top of descent. So it's also calculating the top of descent, which is just, well, wow, like for avionics that nobody is using, because there are no other high quality planes. This is really a great discovery, and I think that this would be one of the main selling points for me of the plane. And I did buy it with my own money, that it has like unique avionics, despite also being like very high quality on its own. I mean, apart from being very high quality. So we are at 4,000 feet. Let me just make sure that everything is fine here. It's pretty hot, so now we can just pull it down. And we can close the rammer as we are cruising. And we can also pretty much close the air cooler. So oil temperature is kind of low-ish, so we can just close it. Okay, let's go outside. Yeah, very nice. And sadly, one thing that I find missing is the dynamic registration. That saying, I was trying to Google it if there are any Japanese Lancer, and only found American ones that are flying in Japan. So this actually might be authentic. So it's not so bad. Nice. Oh, and I wanted to show you the comparison to the A2A1. Let me do it. I will just leave it in a nice view with some sunshine, so like this. And let me show the screens. So A2A has lately published some additional screens a couple of days ago, I think. And here you can say this is what you can pretty much expect from the A2A version. So they have only the analog cockpit, no glass cockpit. I mean, they have the G5, which is kind of like a miniature glass cockpit, I would say, but none of those standard ones. And I think I also have the second one, which is just the analog one. So at least we now have the answer where the propeller and mixture is, because from the prior photos of the original one, the real life one that they own, it was not apparent. Here, let me check if we are not flying into a mountain. Okay, I think I would go up a little bit. So let's go to 5,000. Hold, because we are an old. And now let's go up. And we can add some power. And I think I had also the last photo in this case. So this is the original one that they do own. So from what I know, no oxygen. And this interesting autopilot that I don't really know. And here you can see the totally like analog one without the G5. And so as you can see, like a totally different configuration in this case. So both the glass cockpit one is totally different, and this is also totally different. Okay. So obviously I don't want to tell you which one you should buy, but I'm just showing that there are pretty big differences between them. And something that I was afraid that would not be delivered with this one would be a purely radio navigation stack, but they have done it. So if you don't want any GPS at all, the version is also included. That saying, I was expecting me to prefer the radio navigation one, but as soon as I fired up the Avidyne, I just wanted to learn it, because it's so much fun to have something that is totally different than well, anything that I have flown for a very long time. And it's also very nice that Avidyne has provided like a full guide on their website, which is really easy to understand. So as I said, it will be linked in the description. And when it comes to bugs, pretty much the only one that I have found is this one. They say that if you use direct, it should be fixed. I don't know, we can try it. But can I? I'm kind of afraid that I will mess up our approach, so I would prefer to not to do it. And this is also something interesting, that they have those context windows here. You can sometimes see them pop up everywhere, pretty much, and they will have some additional information that you can click on. Let me just clear this one. Did I mess it up? Oh, here you can see if there is like an additional function possible in this very moment and place, it will propose it to you. Now oh no, it's okay. It's just the map that was here. Yeah, I think I messed it up when playing around with the approach. Like yesterday, when I just added the approach, I didn't overthink it. It was working correctly. So it's for sure not the fault of the avionics or of me. So maybe let me... Okay, like this. Yes. Enter. And here activate direct. Okay, let's see how this will work out. So here the map, and now let me go to heading hold, and I will see if we will see the deviation here. We can also take a look outside. Just like this hilly terrain with all of those like details here. It's a very high definition of those elevation changes, which, as I said, perfect for helicopters and perfect for low-level GA flying, pretty much. Okay, this just looks great. Oh, and now we can see the deviation. So now the CDI, so the needle is working correctly. And also I really like the acceleration on the back. If you are watching more of my videos, you know I hate slow turning knobs. So this is just perfect. Okay, we should switch the tank. Not reset. Also pretty unique. I don't remember it from any other plane. Obviously there was just a clock that you could set, right? On the yoke or whatever, but like such a specific device, pretty cool. Okay, and I think I have shown you most of the stuff there is to show, so I will just jump ahead with the video to the approach, and we'll see you later then. Bye bye. Okay guys, welcome back. So we are close to the approach, we are now descending. Let me just show you two additional options that I haven't shown you before, so let's get in. So one thing is that you can change the orientation by clicking this one, which is also not something that is, well, obvious. Here you could see for a second the terrain warning, so this is also a thing. So what was the second thing? I'm not sure anymore, to be honest. Something, oh yeah, exactly, with the nav. So now nav is automatically tuned, and here you can see nav, but this nav is nav 2. Nav 1 is hidden, so you have to click here, and then you will see it. So I will show you. So this is our approach, and we want 109er and 15. So this is already the active frequency. You can always change them like this, just using the click interface, which is super convenient. And here, obviously, for nav2 you can also do it. And nav2 will power this one, and nav1 will power this one. So to go back to our approach, we will be going over the airport at 4,500 feet, and then we'll go down, 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 up until 3,100, somewhere here, and then we'll just join the approach, hopefully, because maybe I messed up the approach, so you will see. But normally it should be working without a problem. 4,500, 4,500, this is fine. And this is our airport on a fake island that wasn't here. It was built just for the airport. And I was reading about it. They decided to do it because they wanted an airport that will be open 24 hours a day, and this way they didn't have to care about like noise pollution of the nearby town. And also there was a lot of problems with fog, so a lot of flights were cancelled. because I think it was deeper inland. No, not sure where exactly, the old one, but this is pretty much why they built an island, just to avoid those problems here. And do some cinematic views. Yeah, I really like how it looks. I mean, I'm totally not a friend of those like very small planes that don't have a job, are just like for fun. This one is also used for racing, but I really like the profile of this one. Well, at least with some nice liveries. Okay, so we can already tune in the next one, so this will be 3100. And we will see what the plane will do. It seems pretty promising, like it would want to join the loop, but if not, we will just change to heading mode. And as I said, this should work. If it won't work, it's not the fault of the plane, just me playing around with those, with the route here. Will it join or will it not join? We can also get some proper landing lights. Before I forget, we can get this. We can add some more fuel. 3 minutes till tank change, so this is fine. And we will see what the plane will be doing. And you can also see the restrictions, the constraints here, which is, I mean, it's so fun for me after flying like so many hours of Garmin's to see something that is like a totally different philosophy, and it's not in some retro airliner, but just like current equipment that you can use. Great. Okay, so too much docking, let's just descend. We can get rid of some speed, because as you can see, we are pretty fast. And we make sure so proper landing lights, nav and strobes, pump to low. When it comes to the speeds that we will be using, in the manual there is a very nice picture. So we will be descending with 2500 RPM, around 160. And then we need to go over the threshold or like be on short final at around 100. And this is a good rule. And then touchdown is 80 knots with full flaps. Pretty much. Obviously, this is like for a standard circling approach. We won't be doing one like this. We're just going down with the ILS, but still. This is more or less what we will be aiming for. Yeah, I mean, this detail level is great. So the only thing that I haven't tested is the weather overlay. The terrain one is for sure working. You will probably see it once we will get lower, that some of the mountains will get like colored with yellow and stuff. We can also get rid of some of the detail level of the terrain if we don't want it. But for now, let's just keep it. I think it would take some time till we do the loop, so I will just see you again in 2 minutes. I will just jump ahead. Okay, and we have this beautiful view going over the mountains here. You can also see the great lighting on the textures, the weathering here. It's really nice. And in a second we will be turning on final. So last time when I was flying an approach, it didn't change automatically to radio navigation to the ILS. So here I also don't want to wait, just so we don't miss it. So once we are straight, I will just switch it. Yeah, great approach. I mean, this insect remains here. I'm not very nice looking. I think I will have to wash it after this flight. Okay, and let's change to vlog so we don't miss the approach. Okay, and now to approach. And now we have the guidance here and the vertical guidance here. We can get rid of some of the speed. Ooh, we even get some clouds. Nice. Here we can double check if we have all of the lights that we want. Pretty nice. And as I said, approach around 2500. This was also on the graph that we could see. So we can open the oil cooling, because we will be getting slower with flaps, and we can get the full rammer for the engine ventilation. So this is something that I have also asked from the Discord and haven't received an answer yet. If the logic for this one is the same as for this one, that like fully in means maximum ventilation. Okay, and we are pretty much on the glide slope. So let's just get rid of some of the speed. And after a time we will be able to proceed with the flaps. So what do I want here? I think I want here. I was doing it yesterday because I think I was able to get the ME here, but I'm not sure how. Oh yeah, here. 7.5 nautical miles. I think there was also like another solution, but this is okay. To know when we have to deploy what. So I will start around 5 miles out, I think. And we also have the brakes if we need them, so let me just present it. Just a second. Okay, no. Those are pretty effective. And as I say, you can see it's stuttering in the beginning, and this is because I have both the normal binding bound to them, the normal air brake binding, and the custom one. So you should only have the custom one. So then you won't have this like shake in the beginning that we could see here. Okay, so we are at 5, so we will slowly proceed. We are still on the glide slope. Here we can see this. Yeah, this is just the flap speed. So maximum flaps extended 120 and maximum gear 140. We can start with the flaps. Here we can see this moving. It's kind of playing tricks with your eyes. It looks like we are flying straight and not descending, but I just hope that this is okay. So final approach speed is 100. We can slowly get the gear out. Here you can see the terrain, also different than in Garmin's. You can suspend the VNAV. Also, as I said, a lot of those contextual windows open up if you can do something special. Yeah, I know. Let me add some power. We can go full here, full here. Still 8 minutes to tank change, so this is fine for us. I'm kind of concerned with this crap that we can see because I don't remember it being so strong. So one thing that I was wanting to check out, but it didn't work out in the end, was the info about... let me try to find this one. Yeah, the weather info about the airport. Oh, okay, because I need to type it in. Yeah, would make sense. So now let's not waste the time, because we will fall out of the sky. Here you can see the custom bridge that is connecting it to the city. Must have been a very expensive project. Okay, so one last check. We can go down with the flaps more. And pretty nicely. There must have been some wind, but that seems to be directing us correctly. And we can also, if there will be weak visibility, we also have the synthetic vision here. And let me just reset the camera so I will be able to see something. And as was set, over the threshold to F100. Now I'm getting a lot of turbulence, wasn't expecting it. Okay. And touchdown around 80. Oh, there's really some wind. Let me just get this one straightened out. Okay, let's get rid of the flaps. And there's lots and lots of custom stuff, pretty highly detailed. We should be able to take the next one. This should be here, I think. And let's proceed, I will show you the detail. Yeah, I'm still amazed that Microsoft is delivering so many of those like very complicated custom airports for free. Because like coming from other simulators, you were getting nothing for free, pretty much. Or like some stuff from the community, obviously, sometimes a lot, but not really from the creators of the simulator itself. Yeah, really nice. Okay, let me just brake here, parking brake, and let's just clean this up. So I don't want any landing lights, I only want enough light here. This is already on max, this is already on max. Let's do this for fouling, and we can get rid of the transponder. Stand by. I just love touch interfaces. So convenient. In real life, from what I heard, it's like very inconvenient if you have turbulence and stuff. That's saying you can use those line buttons here then. So it's pretty much the best of both worlds in this case. Okay, let us taxi. I think the landing was pretty rough, I think. But we will see, from what I could see, there will be a recording, so you have probably seen it already in the replay. But still kind of safe. And here we can take a look at all of the stuff. This turning radar is pretty cool. Oops, let's not go out here, and we can get rid of this so we will hear more, because it's taking care of the seal. It is blocking some of the sounds. Oh, and also one thing that I haven't shown you, now the headphone simulation is here. So pretty convenient. You don't have to go into any strange menus. It's everything immersively here. You just have to click it. Yeah, lots and lots of stuff. There's one of the nicer looking buildings, so we can park here. So I think the GA apron is here, but it's kind of boring looking. Oh, okay. Well, let's park here. Will be more realistic at least. Now I need to understand how this works. I think just parking in one of those squares. Okay. So we have this one. So I don't need the pump anymore. This is fine, this is fine, this is fine, this is fine. So we can get rid of the avionics, we can get rid of the nav light. Is there anything else? I don't think so. Let me just get the trim in order. Did we really need that much trim? Oh, maybe it's because it was tied to... Yeah, I'm just looking at the... Yeah, now it moves. So it probably... The trim probably needs the avionics. Okay, so alternator off, and we can get rid of this. Okay, nice fuel to off. And the battery can stay on. Okay, so this is already unsealed, so we can unlatch it. Quick clicks, but it should be here. No, let's go out. Those clicking noises. Nice. So dirty, I will really need to clean it. Here. And then we could also fuel it up back again. Okay guys, so this was the analog version of the Flysimware Lancair Legacy. So I think the release version that only included the glass cockpit version was a little bit too expensive, because it was pretty much A2A territory when it comes to prices for small GA. I think why Flysimware is getting better and better, and in some ways it's already further ahead than A2A, then like the full package is not as advanced yet. So in the beginning I would say that the price was a little bit too high, but now as we are getting both of those versions, the analog and the glass cockpit one, and both of those are like so unique, like for example the glass cockpit with this fuse drawer, and this one with the Avidyne and the totally different layout. I think now it's really worth it. So I'm really happy. I was kind of afraid that the analog version was supposed to only like a hastily addition, because the developers knew that it's like more popular. But it's really unique. It's super high quality when it comes to the visuals, and it's a lot of fun to use. So I don't know. I really like the plane. My only wish would be that maybe they would someday come back to this flight model that they had after update 5, because where this one is not bad, I think that the one that I mentioned was the best one from all of those that they have tested. That's saying they have probably changed so much over all of those patches for multiple months that they couldn't come back to it even if they wanted to. So it will probably stay a dream. So one last thing, maybe actually, we could maybe do some night. Yes, timer, thank you. Okay, so this is pretty much it, but obviously you can change a lot of stuff. So for example, the footwell. Yeah, it's also a good question if we have everything on, if we don't have the alternator on the engine. So let me just start it up. I'll just inject some fuel. Oops, like this. Not too much, because it was running a second ago, and now we can start. Okay, so it's this thing. The light don't change. Okay, so we have those strong lights here, so what will happen if we get rid of them? Probably this one. Yeah, so now we can see a lot more detail in those lights. Yeah, I would say looks nice, pretty nuanced, and will be probably pretty useful for night flying. And so the only thing that they said is that this one is very bright during the stream, and they have no way to tune it down. So this one would stay very bright. But it looks pretty interesting. I like it more than the glass cockpit one. Yeah, okay. Maybe we can also turn on the other lights so you will see all of them. Ooh, okay, pretty pronounced. Looks pretty nice. Yeah, and now I think we can really finish. So I hope it was fun, I hope it was interesting, and I see you in future GA flying videos. Thank you, bye bye.